Tēnā tātou katoa ngā mihi nui. Welcome everyone and hello. My name is Carmel Riley. I am the founder of Manifest Unite and I am here with Grayham Forscutt who is a galactic astrologer and the founder of the Galactic Astrology Academy, and we're both in Aotearoa. Welcome Graham, how are you?
Hi, really good, thanks. Looking forward to the full moon, and there's a lot going to be happening, not only for Earth, but for a few of the planets in the solar system. So this is a solar event that will influence ETs and those that are inhabiting some of the other planets in the solar system. So it's a bigger event this time, this full moon, than many full moons.
And we are talking about the full moon that occurs, at least in Aotearoa, on Tuesday the 13th of May at 4:55, so just after the 444 gateway. And Graham and I are going to be talking in this video a little bit about the energies and the upgrades and the activations which are personal for us, for Earth, for other planets and the whole galaxy. So that is pretty cool. And that is why we decided to do this little interview. So stick around, and it's going to be short, but we're going to give you an overview and also invite you to an event at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around to the end. Graham, well, where do we start?
Well, I've got the chart, the astrological map for the full moon, but we'll look at that on the day and explain that in more detail. And we were going to have a look at what is generally called the Mayan calendar and the coding that is in that calendar and how that is also active during this period. So I've got here, hopefully you can see this. So there's the bottom half of the Earth here. And if you can see that, there's white lines. That's the major trunk lines of the major Earth grid. And there's points.
Could you please just lift it up just a little bit, because audience won't know, and welcome if you're joining us. Another welcome to you. Graham actually makes these incredible sculptures. How is the best way of describing?
Well, generally they're in the maths world, they'd be called polyhedras. But in the world of energetic metaphysics, they're modeling different levels or different dimensions of reality and how those dimensions interact.
So it's like taking, we see an astrology chart like the one behind me, it's like actually taking that and making it 3D. It's all the map of probable energy, bringing it into a 3D form. Is that the polyhedron?
Yeah, but the energetic side of it is 4D or 5D, and you can sort of extrapolate through dimensions. Once you understand what you're looking at and how they interact with each other, then more or less can interact with any dimension. That's part of what it is. But as far as the Earth, especially at this coming full moon, and looking at where these ley line grid points are, there's different nodes, chakra points around the planet. So what the Mayan were trying to do, this goes back, at least 3,000 years. So what they were trying to do is they were modeling through the timeline, overlaying cycles. So one cycle is 20 days long, another cycle is 13 days long, and even longer 52-year cycles and so on and so on. But what they were really trying to do is lay out a simple pattern which would last through time, so you could use that pattern over and over and over and over again. It's the same pattern over and over and over again for centuries and centuries until we arrive in the 21st century. And that pattern is based on basically 13 and 20 time cycles or daily cycles, and they repeat over and over again. So what they're trying to really do is model this geometry, in the middle there, you've got a golden ratio diamond, and when you pack them together, you create this geometric shape, the diamond-like body of the Earth, if you want to see it that way.
Wow.
And in there, you've got 12 of these indentations around the model, and you've got 20 of these points.
Could you
around.
please lift that up again? Because it's just so amazing. I just want everyone to really see.
I made it a long time ago, so it's a bit sloppy now,
No,
falling apart.
I mean, just the thought of like, reach out to Graham at the Galactic Astrology Academy if you want to learn a little bit more about the mathematics formula that goes into this. But that is, oh, thank you so much for lifting it up. I think it's incredible. Anyway, carry on.
Slightly. So one is the indentations, that's based on the dodecahedron, and the 20 points, that's based on the icosahedron. They go together like yin and yang, cosmic father, cosmic mother, all these different words you could use. So when you get things like galactic energies or solar flares, when they're coming towards the Earth, they're coming into this point here, or spiral to there. So they're spiraling in at certain points. They go into the center of the Earth, and these are the radiating points here. So they go into the center of the Earth, and then they come out through these points, which are the Earth grid points. Then they travel around the Earth ley lines. So they go into the center through the implosion of the feminine towards the center, and then they come out, radiate out through the masculine, and they go around the Earth ley lines and pop out through these grid points where these are on the planet here. And the Mayans...
I was just going to bring just one tiny thing that I just said that to you before, Graham, before we started, that you can also be this radiating beacon of light. And if in my own meditation practice, I teach people how to spiral in and then spiral out. And so it's an intuitive way. It doesn't, I don't have the mathematical formula to how I do it, but it's the same thing. It's just spiral in, and because we're in a spiral galaxy, and I think it's really important to remind people that we are in a spiral, and we can also be sacred spirals. So there's both the physical representation of that as well as the intuitive feeling into it. A woman has to say that to you, doesn't she? Carry on.
Right. We're a smaller fractal. Our light body, our auric field, a smaller fractal of the Earth light body. So in the Mayan calendar, which is based on these overlaying cycles, over a period of thousands of years, it's not as accurate as it was in its original modeling and mapping, because solar dynamics change over long periods of time.
They do.
On this full moon, we're going to experience one of these events where there's going to be galactic center energies coming to the Earth and then radiating out through here. Now, there is a woman, Chrisana Duran, who's passed on now, but she was so adept at this, what I'm describing here, that she could predict years in advance when a solar flare would happen from the sun. This is years in advance. She could predict when it would happen. She could predict where and what Earth grid point it would pop out, and if there was going to be a landmass sinking or a landmass rising or a volcano. So she was very, very good at this. She's passed on now. Our website has sort of collapsed over time. So there are parts of this which I don't know where exactly it would pop out.
So, Graham, we're not going to go into the full detail of it, but this moon is just before that 144th day on the 14th of May. And there's a whole lot of work that people can do to get ready for the full moon, in addition to coming to our Facebook Live, which is now going to be Sunday night at 7 p.m. in Aotearoa New Zealand time. Links will be below this video, so you can come to that and learn, because I'm really going to go in depth and deep and long with Graham asking him questions, so you can definitely come to that. But what else could people do to get ready for the solar flare activation?
Not so much a solar flare activation, not necessarily.
I want a solar flare to create some havoc down here. Come on.
It may be a solar flare. It could be. Well, I guess the key point is to realize that two locations can interact in real time over any distance.
They can.
So that's, that's experienced by numerous people who go into deeper states of consciousness and sit with that for a few seconds or even a few minutes, and they can experience that. What we need, though, in my view, is what we need is specific destinations that we can interact with. So if we know the destination, the experience is going to be far more beneficial in the end, in the long run. So what's happening on the full moon this time is that the distance to the galactic center is 144 degrees around that zodiac behind your head there. So we know then that part of like 144 degrees is the map, the polygon flat surface map to get the spiral, the golden ratio spiral. So the ability to interact over vast distances is optimized on
Mm,
that day or a couple of days there,
mm.
13th,
Right.
12th, 13th, 14th. Yeah, that.
I put an ancestor, a Heitiki ancestor for anyone who's Māori. We need our ancestors. They're right in the heart of Te Kori, which is the galactic centre. Te Kori is the Māori word for the galactic centre. And
Nice.
carry on.
Ah, that's about, so it's a day, the preparation is just being aware really of the
Mm,
potential of what you could do during those couple of days as far as meditation and tuning in, and even if it's not happening in real time.
mm,
Often my own experience for decades now is that I might not actually do any ritual or anything like that on the day, but I just pay attention to what's unfolding in my life in the next couple of days afterwards, because
mm,
it'll filter through out into my real life, and living in the 3D world, it would sort of filter through, and
mm,
then it would sort of, now I see why.
mm,
Now I can make use of this. So that it can easily work just like that, just paying attention to what's happening in your life or what's coming to you in your life a day or two afterwards. That's uh,
yeah.
another way of working with it.
And of course, we're going to say this, but always deepen your understanding of the galaxy, both in terms of understanding the physical structure and the physical structures, because everything is connected. And just when you think you know one galaxy, there's like 144 others. So, yes, definitely use the time to become more aware of the sky that is above you and particularly any cultural knowledge. But I also think that it's really a very good reminder to us all that we are all able to bring downloads through, and downloads from our many ancestors who are the stars, who are part of the galaxy. You know, we have so many home places, we have so much star whakapapa or star lineage. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that on Sunday evening, and just really want to thank you, Graham, for giving that overview. And I'm so excited about doing this.
It's always
And
a fun thing to do.
yeah, it was. Thanks everyone for watching, and look for the links below to come and join us on our Facebook Live. We're going to go deeper into the 144-degree opening. We're going to go deep into this Mayan knowledge, and yeah, there'll be a bit of blended Māori, mātauranga on Māori knowledge as well. So thank you, Graham, again, and I look forward to being with you on Sunday night.
Yeah, it will do.
See you, everyone.